What's up, guys? Thought I'd do a little video today on echo and binary triggers. Two guns you see here have one of each installed. The gold trigger is the Fostech echo trigger. The black one is the Franklin Armory binary trigger. And you may be kind of on the fence, as I was at one point, on which one of these two do you buy, and it really depends on what you want to do with it. If you are just using it in an AR-15 and that's it, and you want something that will run like crazy, get the Fostech. If you want to use it in any other platform, or if you want to use a 22 conversion, get the Franklin Armory, because the Fostech will not work in a 308 and it will not work with 22 conversions. All that being said, the Fostech is slightly more reliable, in my opinion. You can outrun a Franklin Armory binary trigger. I've never outran the Fostech. Now, I have not used it a whole lot, but I can tell you right now, it's a lot more user-friendly than the Franklin Armory is. At one point, I did have this Franklin in, actually, I think it was this exact same gun, and used it for quite a while on this 10.5 inch 223, and I ended up not using either one of the included springs. I ended up using the spring that came with the pistol kit, which I can't remember where I got that from right now. Anyway, that's not important. But anyway, you may have to do a little tuning on your springs to find kind of a happy balance of everything to let this Franklin Armory run correctly. Let me show you real quick on why the Fostech will not run on a 308 or a 22 conversion, and it is because of this trigger lock right here. This trigger lock has to be activated for the trigger to work, and what activates it is the back part right here of your bolt carrier group. That's what comes in contact with that trigger lock. Like I said, it's just not going to work in anything but an AR-15. And yes, I did call Fostech and had a great conversation with them. They're great people over there in Seymour, Indiana. Highly recommend the company, highly recommend the product. Let's see, to put this gun back together, it's a little bit different deal than normal. You cannot just slap her together and push the pin. It will not work. It's together, but not quite all the way together. What you got to do is you have it in binary mode. You push the trigger lock forward, pull the trigger. That keeps that lock forward. Now you can close it all the way, release your trigger, push your pin, and you're back together. The trigger pull on these two are they're really pretty similar. The Fostech is a little bit heavier at 6.5 pounds. The Franklin trigger is about 5.5 pounds, but when you're running it, it's really not that much different. One other thing I will say on the Fostech trigger is that when you pull the trigger, you've got to pull it hard in order to get the binary portion of the trigger to activate. And I'll show you what I mean here. Alright, we're on binary. Gun's empty. Safety check. We're all good there. So I'm going to pull the trigger very lightly. Okay. 10 cycles. Now, I'm in binary. It should go off, but watch what happens. Nothing. Now, if I pull the trigger and pull it hard, cycle the gun, and let off, now listen. It worked as it should. And that only applies to the Fostech. This big dude, it'll run no matter if you're feathering the trigger or pull it hard or whatever. If you want to see this one, I'll go ahead and break it down for you. Push the pin on this. Hopefully you can see in there. I'm just going to let off on the trigger. Let off. And to put this gun back together, all you do is just close her up. It's together. I like both products. I recommend them both, but again, it's what are you going to do with the gun? My recommendation is buy both of them. They are a lot of fun. This for quite a while was my truck gun. One of these things with a D60 is that's a lot of firepower and a lot of self-defense right there in a pretty small package. For those of you that care, I'll give you a real quick breakdown on the guns. The AR-15 is that's a cheap Anderson lower. It's a Sanders 10.5 inch stainless upper. It's got a CAC noise forwarding device on it. It's a Holosun with an ACSS reticle on it. I used to have a swing away 3-power magnifier on this gun, but I'm a lefty and it just kind of gets in your way whenever it's swung out if you're shooting left-handed. By the way, that ACSS reticle is worthless without a magnifier, so it's the little dots in there, they're so small without a magnifier you can't really use them. At least I can't, I'll put it that way. I forget what this brace is called. It's a Shockwave or something like that. Yeah, Shockwave Technologies. Blade pistol stabilizer is what it says on it. I like those things, they work pretty well. Magpul grip, some cheap no-name ambi charging handle there. Let's see, on the AR-10, this thing's pretty interesting. It's got an Anderson or an Arrow lower, an Arrow upper receiver, and actually this whole upper came from Davidson Defense, and these things are unbelievably cheap. They're like $250. And I kind of thought I was just going to be donating $250 to this company just to receive a headache, but I have gotten along really well with these things. I've got 2 of them now, and this is kind of my close quarters lay down a whole lot of lead with one of these kind of things. But this gun with gold medal match 175s will shoot just over 1 inch. My other one, which is more my kind of precision rig, it will shoot. I've got one group or one target that I'll have to dig out for you guys in a future video, but it shot I think a .77 inch group or something like that with gold medal match. I've been incredibly surprised and very happy with the way this gun turned out. It's got some Magpul furniture on it. It's got a barking spider from Spikes on it, which is another noise forwarding device. I like those. It's nice for your buddies whenever you're shooting, not to make them go deaf. And then it's got a EOTech on top of it. And let's see, it's got a Radian Raptor LT charging handle on it, which is okay. This has the Brownells bolt carrier group in it. My other one has one that's a knockoff of an Arrow, which is sold by, is it Tom's Tactical maybe? A little bit cheaper. And I actually like the Arrow Precision knockoff better than this Arrow, or sorry, this Brownells one. It seems to work a little bit smoother. But anyway, I think that's about it on the guns. If you guys have any questions, put it in the comments below, and hope you all have a great day.